All right. What's going on? Happy almost Halloween. Happy almost Halloween. How's everybody doing? I like that one. All right, man. It's been about 10 days since I've seen you guys. Man, I've been busy and just handling some personal stuff. I've been coaching too, and it's good to see everybody, man. Let's give it a couple of minutes. Today's show is a tribute to Bernie E.L., who is 38 years old today. I did not have a show planned for today, but I thought I'm going to represent my dude. He's an annual client. He's a friend. And I want to do a show for him. So in just a moment, I'm going to play a tribute video made just for Bernie. It should make him smile. And that was my motivation. But anyway, good to see everybody in here. I'm going to shout you out in the chat room in just a moment. But welcome back to the show. I am your host, Everett Overton. Today's show is a Let Go with EO. I think we're on episode 7 of a 10 episode series. 10 signs you're waking up from the lies. 10 indicators or 10 signs that you are waking up. You are seeing this bullshit out here. Okay. You're seeing the bullshit in you first and foremost. Cause there's a lot of people that see the bullshit outside, but they don't see the bullshit inside. And that's a problem. So you have to see the bullshit within you in order to properly identify the lies that people cling to out there. And so we're going to talk a little bit about it here today. We'll get back to the practical stuff. For those of you that are like, yo, man, I ain't trying to hear all this let go with EO. I'm trying to get a hoe. I ain't trying to let go. I'm trying to get a hoe. I ain't trying to let go with no EO, man. Bump that. I ain't trying to hear that yet. I feel you. I understand. I ain't trying to rub this in your face. But Bernie likes the Let Go with EO series. And many of my loyal subscribers really dig when I go this direction. So, because if you want to be good with women, you got to be good with this guy or this woman, if a woman's watching. And how do you be good with him or her? Well, not by lying to yourself, that's for sure. Also, today's fragrance, Mr. Confident, brought to you by yours truly. What an incredible, zesty, zingy, effervescent, fresh, masculine fragrance that y'all are slipping on. Not really, because we're already 70% through the pre-order bottles. 70% gone. And I don't even have the bottles yet, but we anticipate getting those mid-November, and shipments will start mid-November. I don't want to hear, when's Mr. Confident coming back? You had time. Okay. Don't hit me up. I mean, it's obviously my job to replenish, but don't be trying to rush me when I'm on different projects. Don't try to rush me when I'm on different projects talking about where's Mr. Confident at. Yo, I haven't given myself a haircut in a minute, boy. So what? This is about how long? Maybe 10 days. Yeah. So what? Let's rock it. Is Bernie EL in the building? Is Bernie EL in the building, man? Let's see. MC Essential, salute. Hari, salute. Unique, salute. Shout out to Unique. Bernie EL, salute. Let me go down the list and we're going to play your video, fam. Shout out to Bernie EL. SNO, that's an AV salute. Who else? Man, I feel tired, bro. I'm sitting in the chair. Shout out to Mikey in the back. That's one of my guys too. Halloween's right around the corner. One of my favorite holidays. And, Mike is at the top for me. Mike is at the top. Who saw the Fury fight last night? Who saw that, or yesterday? Who saw Fury try to... he was on skates yesterday. Fury was on skates. He felt that Nuganu power and was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna try to survive this fight." Dude looked like he was trying to survive, scared in a motherfucker. It's like, Fury, you ain't no champ, bro, fighting like that. Chill. Everybody, I appreciate the happy birthday wishes to Bernie EL, Michael Smith, Game Technical Apparel, E was good, JF. I always say Izzy World, but IZ World, salute to the young champion. Phil Brad, what's going on, Phil Brad? Gerald Throne, good afternoon. Who else we got? Fish, Chuck, Hendo. Enrique Gomez. Yo, he did get robbed, dude. Hey, you know that shit business is. They're all about the money over there. Now, I will say this. Neither one of them was really doing that much. Okay. If you're really like a boxing enthusiast and you know how to score rounds without your heart and shit, most people who were like in their feelings about he got robbed, I was like, you're just in your heart, bro. Like, calm down. Watch the fight as as you're scoring it. Like, don't watch it based on how it looks or how it feels. Motherfuckers be like in their emotions watching fight. He won. It's like, calm down, bro. I mean, it was close as hell, but it was boring as hell. And Tyson did not fight like no champion. Tyson should be ashamed of himself today. I'm just telling you right now, Tyson Fury should be ashamed of himself because you fought like a bitch, a jiggling ass bitch. That motherfucker look like a potato. I don't want to be mean, bro. I don't want to be mean, but he does. Fucking weird looking ass dude. That's why he talks and sings so much, because he just, But anyway, Tyson Fury fans also unsubscribing right now. But you didn't look good last night, Tyson, at all. And I don't think you deserve to win, to be honest with you. You didn't do enough to win, bro. I mean, you may have did a little pot shot in here and there, a little throwing your jab out all stupid. No stepping into nothing, bad positioning, bad footwork. I mean, his footwork was pretty much what it is, but his legs are shot. He just looked like Gumby out there. Not a good look. You probably deserve to lose that fight, fam. Fury, you should be honest. Be honest with people, bro. He didn't respect the fight and train, right? Yeah, well, yeah. And all champions are ready for every fight. All it takes is one good hit and you're fucked. I don't know why you would underestimate Francis, bro. The dude's a fucking trained fighter. Why would you underestimate? You ain't fighting some loser. Dude's a... Come on. Chuck, I appreciate it. All right, man. Are you ready? Bernie, EL, I got a little something for you. And then we're going to get into the show today. We're going to announce some cash apps that I see on there. Bernie EL. Happy birthday, brother. Bernie EL, Bernie EL, Bernie EL, Bernie EL, Bernie EL, and celebrate Bernie EL. One hell of a guy who has contributed so much to me and his business and our messages. And so we really do need to thank him for his continued generosity and support. Bernie coming through. Bernie EL in the house. Bernie EL in the building. Bernie EL coming in here bright and early with a hondo, man. Bernie. Jesus. Bernie, what's going on, man? Shout out to Bernie with that one hundo. Thank you so much to Bernie EL. I mean, throwing out hundreds like they're singles. Bernie EL, man, I'm telling you, man, Bernie's part of that mafioso. Shout out to Bernie EL, man. I saw Bernie EL this weekend, man. I was in Guadalajara because Bernie hit me up. He said, Coach, I'm going to be doing a sermon in Mexico. I said, hey, I'll be there. Oh man, that's my guy Bernie EL in the building, man. That's my brother, head of security. I got a little clip of Bernie EL with Lizette, Yvette, Carmen. She wanted a little Bernie EL. She wanted to smell that Mr. Confident. Dance with that senorita, bro. Yo, man, shout out to the bruja, bro. The bruja at the end, bro. She had that bruja on her, bro. She looked like she was like a witch. She had that witch look. that was the first thing I thought. I was like, bruja, bro. Chill out with that. Salute, family. Happy birthday, bro. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll play it again. The bruja. IZ World knows what's up with them brujas, bro. She had that witch look. Real quick, man. Let's shout out some people on this Cash App side, man. Anthony Lockie coming in here early. $50. Catching the replay, champion business. Get it, bro. Take care of your business, bro. Thank you for always staying consistent and taking care of me and us. Lockie, salute. Yeah, man. And look at Bernie, man. Man, Bernie. Why you do this, bro? Bernie sending money on his birthday. Oh, man. He must want to see the bruja. He must want to see the bruja again, bro. And we're going to have to play it twice because he gave $200 on his own birthday, bro. That's a man that's a big supporter of mine, man. He keeps these shows going, you know, Anthony, Stevenson, all the gentlemen, man, all the gentlemen that give. You're the ones that keep the shows going. You know, I don't do nothing for free. You know that. I just don't. I mean, I will give you things for free. Don't get me wrong. I give a lot for free already. But, you know, to put together a show and actually, you know, shows take time. You know, I like to do shows fly and I like to, you know. And so for me to do it, but you know, Bernie L giving on his birthday, man, that's Bernie EL. You want that bruja, bro? Let's roll it. Bernie EL. Bernie EL. Bernie EL. Bernie EL. Bernie EL. And celebrate Bernie EL. One hell of a guy who has contributed so much to me and his business and our messages. And so we really do need to thank him for his continued generosity and support. Bernie coming through. Bernie EL in the house. Bernie EL in the building. Bernie EL coming in here bright and early with a Hondo, man. Bernie. Jesus. Bernie, what's going on, man? Shout out to Bernie with that one hundo. Thank you so much to Bernie EL. I mean, throwing out hundreds like they're singles. Bernie EL, man, I'm telling you, man, Bernie's part of that mafioso. Shout out to Bernie EL, man. I saw Bernie EL this weekend, man. I was in Guadalajara because Bernie hit me up. He said, Coach, I'm going to be doing a sermon in Mexico. I said, hey, I'll be there. Oh man, that's my guy Bernie EL in the building, man. That's my brother, head of security. I got a little clip of Bernie EL with Lizette Yvette Carmen. She wanted a little Bernie EL. She wanted to smell that Mr. Confident. Dance with that senorita, bro. She did that you and you and you and you, the little bruja, bro. Shout out to Bernie, man. That video is dope as hell. That video is dope. Shit's funny too. I don't know why. Shit funny. Anyway, man, good to see everybody. Special show for Bernie EL on his birthday. You know how you don't know how you motherfuckers that don't know how to talk and shit. Birthday. I love making fun of you guys, bro. That's just fun making fun of you. No, I only make fun of you to make you better. All right, let's get into the show, man. 61 people watching. People probably know I'm not, supposed to be on here today. I don't know if you guys are getting notifications or whatever, but in any case, let's keep it moving. But I don't typically do Sundays anymore. I like to give you guys the meme of the day. Again, get your bottle of Mr. Confident if you want to smell dope as very, very good. Don't be complaining when we're sold out. Don't tell me, Coach, I didn't know, or Coach, when you bringing it back? Who knows, bro? Because I'm working on this new concoction right here. I'm going to be announcing this luxury fragrance. Bernie EL, don't buy it because you're getting one for your birthday on me. Okay. Luxury cologne, don't buy it. Don't you buy it, sir. You're going to get that. Woo. Smells good. Get Mr. Confident. EverettOvertonCollection.com is where you can find that. Real quick, meme of the day. Let's put the music up for this funny ass meme real quick. Let's put the music up for this. Yo, hey. Oh, man, I know the fellas like that one. Women think they're like in the Hunger Games out here, bro. Hey, I'm not even fucking with you. The majority of women walk around all independent and shit. They think they're like in the Hunger Games, bro. But the truth is, this is what y'all be doing. Now, you might not be on the track and you may not be out on that street, but you'll be doing it. You'll be doing it indirectly. Sob stories. All the sob stories will come out of the woodwork. My dryer went out. My washer went out. My garage door don't close. Okay. My snow blower don't work. You know, the rent is due. OK, they cut my hours. Hey, they cut my hours. Yeah, they cut my hours. You know, Christmas is around the corner. I feel so bad. I typically always provide my kids such a wonderful Christmas. But they cut my hours. You know, that's how them bitches be doing prostitution, YouTube chill. Indirect. Indirect running game on marks. Yeah, you're not on the blade. They may not be on the blade. OK, but the pavement, they may not be on the pavement, but they're working it in other ways. And if women, you got a problem with that, just reflect. Just think about all the time you ran up that sob story and ran game on them marks. When the washer and dryer went out, when the TV broke, or when the TV didn't break. You ever hit a TV in the closet? You got these women telling their kids, hey, I got a chump coming over. Take that TV off the wall and put it underneath my bed real quick. He'll come in and say, boy, you got a nice little house here with nice kids. How come no TV? Times have been tough. Oh, yeah? Let's go to Walmart. Them motherfucker volunteering TVs. That dude's volunteering shit. I know every game a woman runs before she runs it. I know every thought a woman has before she's thought it. I know every action before she's performed it. I truly do, man. One of my clients told me, he's an annual client. He knows who he is. He told me it's a gift and a curse. God blessed me with this awareness and this knowing and the discernment to be able to see the future before you actually do it, to understand you in a matter of seconds, to know your history, to know your future. I can see it. And this is not a joke. This is the truth. And it's a gift and a curse at the same time, because you can't pretend to not know something once you know something. Once you know something and you have a full understanding of something, you cannot pretend that you don't know it anymore. You can't con yourself. You might try, but you can't con yourself. OK. So, but anyway, that's what they'll be doing. Let's get into the show today, man. 10 signs you're waking up from the lies. Now, disclaimer. You don't have to watch this and listen to this and subscribe to everything I say. If you're a religious person, which is perfectly fine, I think, religion is wonderful. It can be wonderful if used properly in the right hands. The messages of the Bible are brilliant and extremely beneficial to humankind and really all of creation. But in the wrong hands, it's disastrous. OK, just like anything. And so if you're going to get defensive over this, I mean, maybe you shouldn't watch this show. I'm not going to go in too much, but 10 signs, sure signs that you're waking up from your own bullshit and from the world's bullshit. Y'all ready for that? Let me know. Let me know if you're ready for that. Hari, I see you. If you're ready, we'll get started. If you're not ready, we're going to get started anyway. Hari, $5. Happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah. Happiest birthday to Bernie. Yes, indeed. Thank you for keeping the shows going. By the way, Bernie, this is not your bottle, bro. This is my bottle. This is my personal bottle of it. This is not your bottle. Your bottle is going to be doper than this. As a matter of fact, everybody's bottle is going to be doper than this. But don't you buy it, sir, because it's coming to you. As soon as I get my hands on it, it's yours for your birthday. Thank you for keeping the shows going. Can't wait to get my Mr. Confident coach. All love. You know what, man? At the beginning of the month, I'm going to go over the moderator list. For those that are just like uninspired, that don't really do it too much, no harm, no foul. I will remove your wrench and I'm going to give it to people that I believe are going to be a little bit more passionate about the position. And so, Hari, look forward to a wrench in the new month. Look forward to a wrench. Lino said Halloween is demonic. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we do that can be seen that way. Who told you that, Lena? Who told you that? Look at another Lino came in. It's the same dude, just with a different profile. He said, yes. It's all good, man. Somebody told you that and you subscribe to it. I will say anything in the wrong hands is evil. Yes, potentially can be evil. Anything with in the wrong hands with selfish motivation. There's one thing to be self-centered. I need you to know that there's a difference between self-centeredness and selfishness. Selfishness has evil tied to it. Self-centeredness is what everybody should be, because if you're not centered in the self, you can't find God. Okay, you can't find God. Okay, you have to be centered in the self. You must understand your existence. You find God through that understanding. But selfishness has evil tied to it. Okay. So yes, Halloween, Easter, all of that, Christmas, any holiday in the wrong hands. I think it's evil to buy children presents. It's a form of evil, not like, you know, the type of evil that you might see where people are hurting someone. But I mean, isn't it senseless to buy thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of presents that you can't afford for Christmas, yet you haven't even taken the time to really celebrate it for what the true intention of Christmas? That's dumb. That's senseless. So what? You can't put a Halloween costume on and go around the neighborhood with your kid, but you're senseless every other time of the year? That doesn't make sense. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Many of you will be put in your feelings, but I don't want to do that, but you're just going to be. You're just going to be in your feelings today. Here's what I ask you to do, and then we're going to get started. Pretend you don't know anything. 72 people watching. I want you to pretend for the moment that you don't know anything. You haven't subscribed to anything. You don't have any, you're not bonded to any ideas or concepts or belief systems. Just for a moment. You can go right back to it, and you will, maybe not. But just for a moment, come to this broadcast neutral. Just neutral. You don't have to shun anything, but you don't have to grab anything. Don't shun anything, don't grab anything. Okay? I think I saw TC Truth Conductor in here. What's up, bro? Good to see you. That's the big homie. Pretend just for a moment. Don't grab anything, and don't cling to anything, and don't grab anything. Just come here neutral. All right, just for a moment, for an hour. Everything by John. What's good, bro? It's been a minute. Been a minute. $5. Coach, what's up, baby? Love the outfit. Smooth. Thank you, man. It's a comfortable ass jacket. It's actually a jacket. And yes, a lot of it is evil energy per se. Every year it's a mindless season. Yeah, a bunch of zombies. Christmas zombies. I don't buy anybody shit for Christmas no more. I stopped celebrating Christmas. I give during the year. We're gonna wait till a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day to give a gift. I mean, every day is a gift. I mean, I think that's every day is a gift, man. Y'all some Christmas zombies, some every zombies for everything. Even Halloween zombies. I like Halloween, but I ain't simping for this shit. I'm not white knighting for Halloween. Now, I want to start by saying this. I did a video, maybe, pardon me. Come back. I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I talked about stop defending yourself. State your position, but even be careful with stating your position. Because what is that position that you have? Who taught you that? Where did you hear that? Charles Kern Jr. on the Cash App. $20 from Charles Kern Jr. New name. He didn't say anything. He just gave some money. Appreciate you, Charles Kern Jr. I talked to you guys about stop defending yourself. It's okay for people to disagree with you. It's okay for people to not align with your viewpoints, your lifestyle, who and what you say you are. Be careful with defending yourself, because self-defense is evil. And I put in brackets ego because self-defense is in large part ego. Your ego is defending itself with another ego. Two people arguing a point is basically two egos added. Okay. One ego, one persona, okay, that's striving to stay relevant and alive is arguing with another ego. Because let me ask you a question. If you go into the grocery store, let's say you're making ribs. Okay, let's just say you're making ribs. You're making ribs and macaroni and cheese. Okay, but you pass steaks. You see the steaks, but that's not your motivation. You're not looking for a steak today. So you're not going to stand there and debate, should I have a steak? Should I have ribs? It's not on your radar. Okay. Let me see what this says here. Every day is a gift. That's right. That's right. Bernie, thank you for listing these. So I want to start by saying we're not quite into one yet, so we'll do a 1.5, Bernie. But self-defense, heavy self-defense. Do you notice you defend yourself a lot to people, to haters? We all do it. I've done it. I still do it. I don't do it to the degree that I once did it. But especially when you put yourself in a public arena such as mine, there's going to be people that hate you, don't like the way you talk, don't like the way you look, don't like the way you dress, don't like a lot of things, don't like your personality, just don't like you. And that's okay. My question is, why you feel like that? Why do you feel like that? But my question to the audience is, do you notice that you defend yourself a lot? Well, I will tell you, you are not in the Holy Spirit when you defend yourself. Okay. I want to stay away from religious references by and large, but you are not operating from higher level consciousness and understanding when you tend to want to defend yourself heavily. When you defend yourself, you are basically being a version of evil. And you are arguing and debating with someone who is also in their version of evil. Okay? Evil isn't just murdering and raping, all those things. Evil arrives in several, mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways, so does evil. Okay. I got a client texting me like crazy. Paul, I got you. Chill. Maybe he doesn't know we're on the air. Number one sign or indicator that you are waking up. Okay. You're waking up from social programming, from zombie land. Okay. You consume less. You don't need like you once needed because there's no one to need for in with regards to a persona. So think about it. If you're a pastor, you need certain things to represent the title of pastor, right? You need certain people, things, that sort of thing. I'm not calling it right or wrong. If you're a content creator, you need subscribers. You need people that support you. You need people that want to listen to you. You have to also add value, okay? There's personas that are built up. You know, even truth conductors, that's a persona, okay? Champion game. I told you a long time ago, champion game is a persona. That doesn't mean I don't have awareness to what's going on, but it's marketing. Okay. It's marketing. Okay. But as you begin to wake up, you consume less. You don't need to support that persona as much as you used to. Okay. Simple things become attractive. Okay. You don't need as much as you used to need. Okay. You don't have to bind yourself to too many things or even people. Okay. You'll just notice. And it'll come to you. It'll just come to you. You're like, how come I don't need to do all those things I used to do? How come I don't need all these things that I used to need? Even these lights, the lights here, this is all for the show. Okay. Would I have these things if I didn't have a show? Probably not. I'll have something else, but I'm not going to have this. This is for the backdrop. This is for the show. This is for the viewing experience. This microphone, this $500 microphone, this is so I can sound well to my audience. Now, obviously, sometimes glitches happen, things happen, always trying to make things better for my audience, but you don't need like you used to need. Okay. Is this connecting with anyone? You consume less. You even consume less content. You don't need to watch the things you used to watch. You don't need to have the conversations that you used to have. You don't need to go to the same places that you used to frequent. You don't need to dwell in environments that used to be attractive to you. You don't need to do that anymore. It's not bad. You just don't need to do it anymore. You can place it aside. This is an indication that you're waking up. Okay? Pardon me, I may have skipped. I'm looking at something here. I may have skipped one. Hang on. No, I'm good. We were there and then here. Hang on, let me check something real quick. One moment. Let me check something real quick. Okay, it looks like this device didn't take slide number 1, so I had to double check a couple of things, and thank you for your patience. That was number 2, but it really doesn't matter because we talked about this. You just consume less. You can't even put your finger on why. You just naturally don't need the things you used to need. You don't need to have the conversations you used to have. You don't need to do the things that you used to do. You're waking up. You're growing up. You're seeing things differently. You're seeing things clearly. So we'll just say that's number 1. Number 2, for the superficial people such as myself, I'm very superficial at times. I used to be very superficial, and I still am, but it's more of when I need to be. I'm nowhere near as superficial as I used to be. But being superficial for a time helped me succeed in the world. And, people judge you by your appearance. People judge you by, how they feel when they're around you. And a big part of how they feel when they're around you is how attractive you are. Okay. And how much you shine. And, women like shiny things, and they like men that are good looking and, are hip. But when you're waking up, you will be less attractive. Okay. And people will notice. They may say something like, hey, is everything okay? For example, like I haven't cut my hair in a couple days. So still look good. So you can't fuck up what's already, it's fixed. This is done. God wanted it this way. God wanted it this way. You can't fuck this up. No, I'm kidding. I'm only joking for, this somebody probably unsubscribed right now. I hate him. I hate him. I'm joking. But, the old me would never take my hat off, I always had to be fresh all the time. Who gives a fuck now? Now I'm at the point now, I don't care as much. But when you start to wake up, that persona, that outward persona, that flash, okay, that person that always has to be done up, fly, even women, always has to be done to the nines. I've known women back in my superficial days because I was superficial. Thus, I attracted superficial women. They couldn't go outside without heels. They couldn't go outside without makeup on. They'd have to go to bed with makeup on. I knew a Hispanic chick who would have to go to bed with makeup on. I'm like, you crazy as hell. Is what it is. Please tell them good looks get a pass. Oh, good looks do get a pass. In this space, they say looks don't matter. Okay, but looks do matter. When you're good looking, when you're pretty, the doors are open for you. Now, that doesn't mean that you stay in the room. Okay, because skills keep you. Looks get you in. Yeah, you get that coupon. You get that fast pass. Okay, door will open, but skills, you'll stay there. Okay. Skills will keep you. Looks will get you in. Okay. If you got unattractive person, and then you're going to hear the cope artist say, well, looks are subjective. Like, nah, bro, when you see somebody that's good looking, and when you see somebody who's very pretty, you may not want them in the bed, but when you see somebody that's got it going on, that. Don't lie to yourself. Makeup is a physical filter. I don't have a problem with a little makeup. I think women look pretty with makeup. I do, as long as it's done tastefully and appropriately at the right time. Okay. But you got to be able to be yourself without it too, out the shower, out of the pool, that sort of thing. Can you still be, okay with yourself without all that? If you can't, there's a problem. But I think makeup can enhance a woman. And I think if done tastefully, it's attractive. Yes, at the appropriate time. But can you put a baseball hat on, a ball cap on, a female version? Can you tie your hair up and just go outside and run an errand? Or do you have to be on 10, on point all the time? And if you do, then there's some insecurity there. And there's a persona there that you must protect. Okay, you must protect that persona. That's not the real you. That's what you became. But you'll notice when you're waking up and when you're tired of the bullshit, you're going to be less attractive. Okay. You won't be, put it this way. When I first started this business 5 years ago, I looked different. In some ways, I think I looked better. In some ways, I think I look better now. Both versions of me are fine with me. Okay. But I'm nowhere near what I used to be. Very superficial. You know why people are superficial? Because they get results being that way. Okay. Let's call it for what it is. When a person gets results being something, do you think they're going to stop being that? No. When a woman looks a certain way and then guys are simping, and she's getting benefits and results from, being that way, she's not going to stop being that. She's going to continue being that. She's going to advance that further. And same thing with a man. If he starts to notice, damn, that worked for me. Damn, that worked for me again. Damn, that worked for me again. Well, you think he's going to stop being that? But what happens when you stop being what used to work for you? That's when you're waking up. It doesn't even make sense why you want to stop being what you used to be. In the physical world, for practicality's sake, that if you stop being this one thing, that you might lose money, you might lose popularity, you might lose status, but you just can't be that anymore. You're tired of being that. You're exhausted from being that. So then you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make. I stop wearing this mask, or I keep wearing it at the sake of carrying a ton of weight every single day. Or I can wear it sometimes. Sometimes is better than all the time. So I will tell you, if you're waking up to the lies and the bullshit and what you are not, you're going to become less attractive than you used to be. Self-care is a big cope in a lot of ways. Self-care. We'll talk more about that in another Let Go with EO. Self-improvement and self-care is a deterrent, or it keeps you from the real work that is necessary in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind. A lot of people self-improve physically, but they haven't changed at all at the core. Morally, they haven't changed. Their energy hasn't changed much. So be careful with self-improvement. You change the outside, but the inside hasn't changed. You ever bought a car that looked good on the outside? New rims, shiny rims, nice wax job, but that carburetor's fucked up. That engine locked up. That engine's about to lock up. Okay? There's a lot of internal problems, but the car looks good. Shit, I bought a car like that years ago, and I didn't care. I was 18, and I didn't have a lot of guidance. But yeah, I mean, I bought a car like that before. It looked good. I wanted to be flash, but at the expense of what? It locking up on you on the road? It's pointless. So I'm for, take care of that inner engineering, take care of that engine, keep up with the maintenance, and also keep up with yourself. But be careful with these self-improvement tours that you go on. You might be fixing the outside, but you haven't impacted the inside, and it will come back to bite you. Okay? Do both if possible. Do both. Who's with this? Who's with this shit? Who's with this broadcast right here? Who likes this? You like it? Are you not feeling it? Let me know. You like this? All the secret watchers. There's some people secretly watching right now. Secret watching, boy. Under the covers. Other content creators watching. Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Learn something, man. Don't hate. Appreciate. Yeah. Just be honest with yourself. Just like I told you, I wouldn't go, normally I don't, this don't look bad. I mean, this is better than 90% of people that go out in the public. The way my hair looks right now, there ain't nothing wrong with it. But for me, I always, it's part of the brand. It's part of the brand. EO, what's he wearing today? What's his hair look like today? Did he trim his beard today? Did he let it grow today? What fragrance is he going to wear today? What does his background look like today? Don't lie. Y'all come over here to look at that shit. You do. If I ballooned up to 280 pounds and I was sitting here with a big ass pumpkin face, okay? Now, some of you would stick because the game is the game. The game, the knowledge that I teach is hitting you. But a lot of the superficial people are like, oh, EO lost it. EO used to be, handsome, and he don't got it no more. You would. Don't lie. I get it. It's not a problem. It's just what it is. That's the mind. The mind is a powerful tool. It can destroy you. It can assist you very well in the physical world. The mind, if you're controlling it, will assist you greatly in this place called life. But if not controlled, it will destroy you. You will destroy yourself. Okay, and it's happening all around you. Okay, next slide. What is this? Number 5, but we're a little off. But don't mind the number. Just kind of go with, I think we're number 3. You don't need to be happy. You accept the fullness and the emptiness of the human experience. Be careful around people that need to be happy. I don't feel happy. You ever had someone in your life that tells you, well, I don't feel happy? Be careful with them. It's not that they're wrong, but they can't see. They don't see yet. They don't see. They can't see yet. And you have to be careful to overinvest or to invest with people like that. Or even if you're that way, forget other people. Are you that way? JF says he's with it. Good. JP, I'll be in touch. When you're waking up, you don't have to be happy. There are moments you will be happy, but you're not conjuring that. It just happens. Happiness happens. Think about it. When you try real hard to be happy, you're not. You're lying to yourself, but you're not. When you try real hard to get a woman, you try real hard to get a man, you try real hard to get a job, you try real hard to get a good body. You just keep trying and trying and trying real hard. You're not happy. You're not. You tell me, 118 people watching, when you try real hard to be happy, are you? Come on now. Come on, man. This is soul food now. This is soul food time. Okay. If we get this right, everything else will fall into place. We get this right, everything's falling into place. Okay. We don't get this right. You're going to be fucked up out here in this life. Okay. And it doesn't matter your age. You can get this at 20. You can get this at 70. Okay. You can get this at 75. Or you cannot get it at 20 and you cannot get it at 75. You could die not getting it. Okay, you can die, you can be old and gray and not get it. Okay, so answer this for me. When you try real hard to be something, to become something, are you happy? Don't confuse accomplished with happy. Now, I know accomplished people that aren't happy. So I've been accomplished and still like, yo, that should feel good. It doesn't. Yo, I've accomplished a lot in my life. Let me tell you something real quick. Everything that I said I was going to do in my life, I've done it. OK, none of it made me happy. None of it. It's nice. It's, you kind of become competent at life. Yes, you become competent. You say, and it's a good feeling kind of for a very short time, but then you're on to the next. What am I going to do next? Because it's nothing ever truly fulfills you. That's a lie. You're not going to always feel happy. That's a lie. Okay. You buy into that lie. Okay. And you won't always feel sad either, which is why you should never make rash decisions when you're angry, because the anger will go just like the happiness will go. Listen to what I told you. Anger will leave. So don't make rash decisions when you're angry, because you won't be angry tomorrow. Unless you're possessed by your ego, then you will be angry tomorrow. Okay, you can be possessed by your ego. You don't need the devil to possess you because you possess yourself by your own clinging, by your own beliefs. Okay, you believe something so much that you become possessed by it. Okay, and then you blame the devil for coming in and possessing you. Okay, and that's a cope too, to blame the devil for everything that goes wrong. How about you haven't changed? How about that you are unbalanced? How about that you don't live sensibly? Huh? Listen to what I'm telling you. Anger will leave just like happiness will leave. A piece of the action says, no, my experience. Grizzly says, yep. Bernie says, no. Michael Smith says, I don't notice when I'm not happy. I do notice when something makes me happy. I understand that. But I'm telling you guys, listen to me. Devil made me sleep with her, coach. Yeah, that was just your hormones. The devil gets a lot of blame, man. You're just born with hormones, man, that you haven't fully identified. Like y'all blame stuff on things that don't really exist a lot of the time. And like a religious person will say, ooh, he's a blasphemer. He actually said the devil doesn't exist. Stay away from him. He's the devil. Okay. But real talk. Do you know you're born with hormones, motherfucker? Do you know you're born with hormones? The woman has estrogen. The male has testosterone. When you're young, those motherfuckers are raging. Okay. Now it's important that you identify that and you know which stage you're in your personal evolution. And that's so you know why you feel certain ways. Why am I horny all the time? Because you're 18, motherfucker. That's why. Okay. When you're 48, you won't be as horny. You'll still get a little stiff one here and there. Okay. It doesn't ever truly leave. But when you're 48, you won't want to fuck like you're 18. Okay. And that's a blessing in a lot of ways. Okay. That will be a blessing. But you motherfuckers are blaming the devil for shit when that's just part of your biology. Stupid. And I'm just saying it like, hey, stop that shit, man. You are a human being. It's part of your biology, bro. Chill. The devil made me do it. No, you're 21 and you're horny. Okay, just chill. Understand yourself. Understand what's going on inside before you start blaming something on the outside. Okay. What does SNO say? What does she say? The baby girl. When you focus on creating happiness, you're on the thought, not the emotion. Emotions precede thoughts. You can't have an emotion without a thought. Okay. However, there are certain happenings within your life that you didn't really conjure up. Like when you look at a sunset, let's say let me prove it to you. Have you ever walked outside and you're just checking the mail, walking the dog, throwing out garbage, something, and something just hits you about that moment? Something, a calmness, a stillness, a peace, something beautiful. You didn't plan on seeing that. That beauty just happened to you. Has it ever happened to you? Has beauty ever just happened to you before? So this is what I'm trying to get you guys down to nothing, to strip you down to nothing just for an hour. I'm going to help you strip yourself down to nothing so you can see how everything you are in lots of ways. So you won't even call yourself limited anymore. You won't need to. So have you ever, has beauty ever hit you? And you didn't call beauty forth. You didn't look for beauty. Beauty hit you. Has that ever happened? A piece of the action said it correctly. Usually in the simplest moments is when you see beauty. And that is 100% true. And you can see beauty. Well, there's a difference between pure beauty and manufactured beauty. So fancy shit is manufactured beauty. Going to a fancy hotel, that stimulates your senses. Okay, there's a strategy behind that. Going to this background, this stimulates your senses. This is manufactured beauty. Okay, this is manufactured. This isn't real beauty. This is manufactured beauty. It's a version of beauty, but it's manufactured beauty. And then there's things that just are beautiful without your touching, without your participation. Y'all gonna get this today, boy. You're gonna get it. And if you don't get it, that's fine too. But you're gonna get this today. You're gonna see a lot of the stuff is of your doing, of your making. That's fine. Fish, welcome. He gifted 10 memberships. Very generous. Very generous of you. I don't know who Pinky is. Who is Pinky? Who is that? I don't know. I don't watch videos, man. I don't watch the Manosphere. I don't watch podcasts. I just don't watch that shit, bro. I know of them. You see them pop up. I can't watch that shit, bro. I mean, I just can't. It's not, no offense. It's for somebody. I don't watch that. Who's Pinky? Who is that? I know Pink, the singer Pink. But who's Pinky, bro? Who is that? Let me read what this gentleman said. Pinky from next Friday. Let me see what this dude says. William Lopez. He's Puerto Rican. I'm married young. I married young in 2013 for 10 years. It was a toxic relationship. I emotionally cheated and she physically cheated after. She wants to divorce currently. Should I keep fighting to stay together? Would have to coach you, man. I need so many details. I need to itemize that. I need to go over the timeline. It's such a important question to ask someone without knowing anything. I would have to know details. Consider booking a session. EverettOverton.com. By the way, I just softened my prices. My rate has been softened through the end of the year. God told me something. God told me something recently. It just hit me. And it said, people need you, but they can't afford you. People need you. This voice told me this. This is not a joke. People need you, but they're struggling to hire you. Not everybody's struggling to hire me. There's some people that have put themselves in position to hire me, but there's other people that would love to talk to me, but they're struggling to do it. And so I did not hesitate. I softened my rate, all of my rates. So, and it's right. It feels right. Okay. My gut tells me it's right now. So, I followed what I was instructed. And sometimes it's really not God telling you that, it's you telling you. Even sometimes we want to play that role play, that fantasy of God told me to do something. Let me say something to everybody that's listening here. You know when something is right and you know when something is wrong, and you don't need God to tell you that. But this is going to bother you. This will bother you because I'm not removing God, because you can't remove God out of anything, because God is part of everything. So that's another topic. God is infused into everything. OK, so you can't ever get rid of it. Even an atheist can't get rid of God. OK, You can't. God, it is infused into everything and everyone. It's just some people are aware of it and some people are not aware of it. But you cannot get rid of God. God is infused in everything. However, you know when something needs to be done. It's a cope sometimes to even beg God or ask God what you should do. You know what you should do. God doesn't support your ego, family. Listen to me. Do you think if you're stuck in some persona, like if I was stuck in Mr. Champion game forever and the shit ain't working, and I'm like, but God's going to come through. God's going to say, you created Mr. Champion game, not me. God, it, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it. You know when you need to change something about you. Come on, man. Like God told me to do it. The devil told me. Just like the devil don't tell you to do a lot of this stuff, God don't tell you to do it either. You know what you should be doing and you know what you shouldn't be doing. Listen, just like the devil's not over here tempting you all day long. It's just you don't understand your hormones, okay? And you haven't really practiced sexual discipline and all that. Okay. Just like the devil doesn't make you do all the foolishness that you do, God doesn't make you do all the positivity and the right decision making that you do. Okay. That's another cope. It is. I'm sorry. It is. Although God can never be separate from anything that you do, God cannot. Okay, it cannot. But God is not responsible for all your right decisions. Sometimes it's up to you to make that right decision. You know what that right decision is. You just don't do it. You're too prideful. You're too egoic. You're too shameful. There's something that you refuse to acknowledge. And then you just continue being that. And thus you keep getting the same results you keep getting. And no, God is coming to save you. God is not coming to save someone who refuses to change. God is not coming to save you. If God was coming to save you, God would have saved you by now. God is not in the business of just tormenting people. Okay. You torment yourself by your inaction or your refusal to make adjustments, to change. So when that hit me, listen, guys, when that hit me, people want to hire you. They can't. People within your current audience want to hire you. They can't. It's a struggle. They can, but they'll be in bad shape if they do. So I instantly knew that was me talking to me. Okay. I may feel that I deserve more money. Okay. Hold on. Listen. I may feel I deserve more money. That's a feeling. That's ego. Ego just thinks it needs more money. Ego thinks I'm worth more. Okay. Ego thinks that, you know what though? I'm not struggling right now. My life isn't perfect. Pardon me. I have struggles. I do have struggles. I do. But my struggles come from wanting. My struggles come from increase, the desire for increase. You've heard more money, more problems. That's fucking true. Okay. Now money buys you things and money can allow you to have experiences, and that's beautiful. But there's something about helping somebody and you don't want anything and you have the ability to do it, that it just purifies your spirit and purifies your soul. And so God is not coming to help you. I want you to know this. If you refuse to put your pride and your ego away, God is not coming to help you. The devil's not coming to harm you either because you're doing enough of that yourself. So the devil's like, man, he fucked his whole shit up. I don't have to. Give me somebody that's winning. Hold on. Okay, hold on. For you devil believers. You think the devil's sitting here worried about a dude that's already struggling? He like, bro, you already destroyed yourself. I'm good. I'm good. Where's EO at? Where's Mr. E 1976? Let me go hit him over there real quick and see if he's susceptible to my shit. Okay. And that's if you even believe in the devil. But for the sake of the devil believers, I'll give you that. You think the devil's sitting there in the gutter, in the alley with homeless people? They already destroyed themselves, bro. They refuse to change. What the fuck do I need to add on to what you already fucked up? So, I mean, you need to understand this. A lot of that stuff is just a refusal to tell the truth about yourself and to change. Let's keep going. If I didn't care about my audience, I wouldn't tell you this. I don't take great joy in delivering this message because I realize this message is probably maybe not exciting, not entertaining, but I'm not really those things anyway. I don't try to make you laugh. I just make you laugh. I don't think like I'm going to make people laugh today. I mean, sometimes y'all laugh, sometimes you don't. I don't know what else to tell you, but so remember, this was we stayed on this one for a while, and it's important that you know this. You're waking up from all of the things that you've bought into when you don't need to be happy. You accept the fullness and the emptiness of this human experience. Do you realize that if you empty out of all the things you think you know, you will find whatever God is? God is found in emptiness, in silence, not with clutter. Clutter could be music, drugs, alcohol, women, prosperity, money. I mean, you could still have God and have those things. Okay. You could still be grateful. You could still understand. But if you truly want to know God, you must strip yourself of everything that you think you know, and you will see God. You will feel God. I promise you. God isn't in things. God is in nothing. And so this exercise is really to help you strip yourself of everything, which is kind of scary because at the same time, you're like, well, if I strip myself of everything, then that means I'm nothing. That means I don't exist. Well, sorry to break this to you, but a lot of the things that you became, it really doesn't exist. A lot of the things that you say you are, it really doesn't exist. Okay. All right. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't play the role for practicality's sake. And in this society that we live in, you must be something. And you must be useful in order to be acknowledged, in order to be beneficial, in order to earn a living, in order to make friends, in order to find a woman, in order to find a husband. You must have some level of identity. But just know that every identity that you conjured up or that you attach yourself to isn't real. And that's a tough one, man. No identity that you have is real. None of it. None of that is real. Okay. It feels real, but it is not real. And identities is what people destroy themselves from. Do you know that by and large, most people, how do I say this? Exit this life. Do you know that many people intentionally exit this life because of the beliefs that they had? And it's not lining up. It's not making sense. Okay. because I'm encouraging you to just strip yourself of everything that you think you are. Everything. And find out what's left. Find out what's left after you strip yourself of everything. What remains? You may be too afraid to find out what remains after you strip yourself of everything. But trust me, I've done it. There's beauty in nothing, man. There's beauty in nothing. You don't want war when there's nothing. Listen, there's no war when you're nothing. When you're something, there's war. Because you have something to protect. You have something to go against. You have something to defend, right? When there's something. TC, when there's something, you have something to go against. When there's nothing, you don't need to defend. There is no war when you're nothing. There is no war. There's no thought of war when there's nothing. And by nothing, that means everything. It sounds contradictory, but within nothing, there is everything. But if you believe in something, you are limited. Okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. In something, you're limited. In nothing, you have everything at your disposal. You are in your God frame. You want to go into masculine frame? Go into God frame. You go in your masculine frame. That's just go into another ego. Go into another persona real quick. Okay. It never lasts. It may get you through a situation. Sure. I won't deny you that, but it doesn't. It never lasts. Masculine frame can never last. Okay. When you are something, you are limited. I want to say this one more time. When you are something, you are limited. When you are nothing, you are available for the nourishment of what life is. Think about it. Empty your trunk. You can put things in there. Clutter your trunk. You can't close the lid. Listen, man. Listen to me, man. I'll put this in a practical way. Go stuff your trunk full of all kinds of shit. How about when you open that, you're like, oh man, I got to get rid of that. Oh, this motherfucking muffler part is still in here. It's been in there since fucking 1985. Oh, damn, man, I got this still in here. I got to get rid of that. It's stress. But what happens when you clean it out and there's nothing in there? It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like you can think. You can think in emptiness. You cannot think in clutter. You cannot be your best self in clutter. But in emptiness, you can be. This is why I told you the epitome of game is letting game go. That is a level. Thinking you have game and running game is fine. There's a level for that. But if you are going to keep continuing on in this journey, you'll realize that I let game go a long time ago. The only time you're being honest, TC, is when you are nothing. Until you become nothing, even by yourself, you don't have to tell everybody, I'm nothing. I became nothing last night. You don't have to tell people that. They don't understand that. They don't understand that. And that would be irresponsible of anybody to sit there and talk about your awakening. If you want to talk about your awakening, you probably didn't wake up. You probably just created another identity. Okay. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen, this is very important. If you want to tell everybody about your awakening or your salvation, you probably just created another ego. Okay. You can have a Christian ego. You can have a Muslim ego. You can have a Buddhist ego. There's all types of egos that you can, become and sponge onto. Okay. But when you don't need to tell people about what it is you've undergone, I believe you are in your God space. So the truth is in nothing, TC. The truth is in nothing. Now, that doesn't mean you'll never talk again. That doesn't mean you'll never converse with somebody again and have practical conversations, and that you won't talk about Trump one day, and that you won't talk about the World Series. And you're going to do that because it's just, you're going to do that. Okay. But the truth is in nothing. And I'll continue to show you that through this broadcast. But it's hard for the logical brain to acknowledge that. The logical brain wants to make sense of everything. Sometimes the truth doesn't make sense. Sometimes the truth isn't logical. If the truth was logical, we wouldn't have chaos in the world, because there's a lot of people claiming to be logical out here, yet causing enemies and strife and war and mistrust. How many logical people do you know that have destroyed families, destroyed communities, but they claim to be logical? They're only logical until you hit their ego. Then they're no longer logical. See, it's easy to be logical if your ego isn't being offended. Okay, hold on. It's easy to be logical, ladies and gentlemen, when what is being said isn't attacking your ego. But when what is being said attacks your ego, now there's a problem. You are no longer logical. You are emotional now. Okay? Because your ego is being offended. And you know that's true. You know that's true. Yo, the biggest phonies are born again Christians. Hey, born again Christians are some of the biggest phonies. How do I know? I used to be a phony ass born again Christian. I remember when I kind of became a Christian, or pardon me, when I became religious. Okay, I want to change that. I remember I wanted everybody to be religious. I wanted to share with everybody. Hey, have you ever felt this? Have you? And I was younger. And it was a bad look. Listen, people will know when there's something different about you, about what you do, how you live. Okay? Next slide. And this kind of ties in. We won't stay here too long. This ties into a lot of the things I'm saying. You're far less selfish. What you clung to before, you can depart from now. Listen, there was a time I didn't like to give away money. I'm not going to lie to you. For one, money was hard to make. At least I used to think so. Now I don't think money's hard to make. As a matter of fact, the less you try to make money and the more you focus on value, being valuable to other human beings and to all of creation, money will find you. Okay, so the more you try to make money, the less money you'll make and the less happiness you'll have tied to the money. But the more you focus on value, money will find you. People will find you. Health will find you. But there was a time I did not like to give away money. It was because where I came from, what I've seen, how hard I've worked, and who wants to give away money when you're working hard? But as of the last 5 years or so, I've just been giving away money. And I can't keep it. I can't keep it. Clinging to things makes me unhappy. Relinquishing things makes me happy. There's just something about relinquishing things, letting go. That's why I created this series. There's something about letting go that is freeing. There's something about giving to another that makes you feel free. You're just free. I mean, think about it. When you're carrying a lot of shit, okay, carrying a lot of shit versus having nothing in your hands, who's walking different? Imagine someone walking down the street with big ass bags, okay? And then imagine someone walking down the street with nothing in their hands. Who's moving? Who's flowing? Who's flowing? But it's not just money. You could be selfish with your own ideas. You could be selfish with pride. You could be selfish with regret. You could be selfish with unforgiveness. You could be selfish with a lot of things. It's not just money. You could be selfish with self-respect. Man, this is so important what I'm saying, man. You could be selfish with self-respect. You could have so much self-respect that you repel everyone. You could have so many ideas and you stick to that idea for so long that it's outstayed its welcome. You've outaged the idea. Do you know that you can outage an idea? Come on, man. You can outage a marketing campaign. I mean, I still look fairly young. Okay, fairly. If I shaved, I'd be real young looking. Okay. But there's a reason why I can still be in this business. But once I get white hair, you think I'm going to be sitting here talking to young men? I ain't talking to young men no more. I mean, I'm talking to you now. I'm talking to you now. The literature will be here somewhere. Okay. The videos will be available somewhere. Maybe here, maybe not here. I don't know. But you're getting me now. But you think I'm gonna be sitting here like old man talking to young dudes? I mean, if life presents me a young dude and that needs me, I trust life will bring him to me. But I'm not gonna go looking for you. You know what that is when you go looking for people? Loneliness. You're a lonely old man. You a lonely old dude going looking for friends. Boy, there's so much revelation in this, boy. There's so much that don't let it kill you. Don't let it sit on you too long. Don't let anything that I said here sit on you too long, but let it crack something open. Let it crack something open, because change can happen fast. You don't need 5 years, 1 year to change, bro. Change can happen right now. Awareness can happen right now. You could become super conscious of things right now. It's like, whoa, you can get a glimpse right now of what you've always been and get a quick look at what you're about to be. And you're just like, whoa, damn. You think that I teach you game? You think I teach you about women? That's the least of what I do. I taught you women to pull you in because I know how bound you are to the feminine, to the female sex. I know how bound you are to that. So I had to use that to get you. I also had to use that because there's a step in that. There's a step to that. Women are going to be important to you until they're no longer important to you. Women and money and fame and popularity and status and good looks and feeling good and all that stuff is going to be important to you until you've exhausted through it and then it no longer is as important to you. That doesn't mean that you won't still respect it. You'll still be okay with women. You'll be okay with money. You'll be okay with things, but you're not a slave to it anymore. But you have to be a slave to something in order to not be a slave to it. It is very hard for you to get something without experiencing it yourself. Okay. You know how a woman gets fed up? By getting fed up. Okay, listen to me. You've heard R. Kelly, when a woman's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. You know how a woman doesn't start by being fed up. A man doesn't start fed up. It takes a while. It takes a minute. Sometimes you can get fed up with something right away. Like if you taste something, I don't want to taste that again. You were fed up. You tried it. And that ain't for me. Sometimes you can take the advice of another. Trust me, you don't want to go here. And then you read Yelp reviews. You go online to find out about a restaurant, and that's why reviews are important. So you go to a restaurant, you get enough people saying this ain't good. You might say, "Fuck it, I ain't trying it." But be careful, though, because that might be a lot of negative people. You may try to have a completely different experience. So you may try it once. Okay, because everybody has different preferences. Everybody has different objectives. So what was unenjoyable for one person may become very enjoyable to another. So be careful with that even. So you'll notice if you're waking up, you're going to be far less selfish. Selfish with your pride, selfish with your ego, selfish with your ideas, selfish with your beliefs. You could be on a self-improvement run, and all of that is just pure selfishness. Balance is important. So if you're waking up, you're going to notice you give a little bit more and you shed a lot more too. And it's not just money. It is even things that you sponged onto, ideas, beliefs. The next one, man, and this is we won't stay here too long. You don't feel the need to condemn, which this kind of ties into the earlier slot, which was the need to defend yourself. Men smart, women dumb. All these shows. Men smart, women dumb. Women are not dumb. Women are not dumb. And not all men are smart. I met a lot of dummies that were men. Old dummies, young dummies, middle-aged dummies. Fools that thought they knew everything, yet they knew nothing. I met some dumbass women too. Don't get me wrong. I've met some dumbass women. I have. But I've also met some very special women. Some misunderstood women. Some women that weren't listened to. Everybody wants to be heard. And even that's ego. If I even take that further, well, you just don't listen to me, ego. I don't have time for that right now, ego. Okay, listen to me. You got two egos in a relationship. Well, you don't listen to me, ego. I don't have time for that right now, ego. Well, what'd you get in a relationship for if you don't want to listen to who you're with? Why are you in a relationship? Why do you want to be married? You don't want to listen to the girl. You don't want to listen to the girl. She doesn't want to listen to you. Why are you looking for a man, young lady? You don't want to understand him. So these shows is just like men smart, women dumb. That's why I don't watch them. They don't want me on this show, bro. I'll ruin the whole show. Why you think I haven't been invited to these shows? I won't mean to, but I'll ruin the whole show. Why do you think I haven't been invited? You think these people haven't seen me? Oh, they've seen me. You remember when in Rocky 2, when Duke told Apollo Creed, this guy he's all wrong for us, baby. Let it go. Hold on, man. One of the best scenes in Rocky 2 was when Apollo wanted to fight Rocky again because the tabloids and the newspapers and everybody said that he didn't win the first fight. He won, but he didn't win. Kind of like Tyson last night. Tyson Fury won the fight, but he didn't win the fight. He won on the scorecards. He didn't win. Okay. And so I remember when Duke was sitting on that couch and Apollo asked him, did you think I won? Did you think I beat him? And he looked the other way. And he told Apollo, I've never seen a man, and I'm paraphrasing, I've never seen a man get pummeled like that. And we're talking about a movie, but this is real life. I've never seen a man get pummeled like that and keep coming after you. He said, this guy's all wrong for us, baby. Let it go. Let it go. You won. You're the champ. Let it go. And Apollo's ego couldn't let it go. And you saw what happened at the end of Rocky 2. Rocky went on with his life with, Adrian. They called him out. They called out Rocky. Rocky wasn't going to fight again. He called Rocky out. It's a movie, right? It's real life too. This goes on in real life. Shout out to Jack Firety. So if you're waking up, you don't feel the need to condemn. You will see the foolishness, but you won't want to be participative in it. That doesn't mean you'll never be participative in it, because when you play a role, you may do it. But choices. We're all presented with choices. I'll never be on one of these shows. It is, I should say this, it is unlikely you'll ever see me on one of these shows. And whoever is on these shows is likely very has been identified as someone who can further the agenda. Okay, listen, whoever is invited on shows like that, with all due respect, they have been identified as individuals that can further the agenda. I'm not calling that right or wrong. I'm telling you what it is. This is part of that same slide, which is condemning and ego are tag team partners in life. So just so you know, anytime you're condemning something, you're in your ego and y'all are like tag team partners. Okay. Pride, selfishness, condemn, separation. Even the Bible talks about separation. Like men got it going on like that. Do you really think men got it going on like that? Come on, man. Men ain't righteous like that, bro. It's very seldom when you find a righteous man. Come on. But yet they'll call out the shortcomings of a woman. This motherfucker lives like a heathen and he lives foolish, but yet he pinpoints the shortcomings of a woman. Fuck out of here. Clean up your own house, motherfucker, before you talk about a bitch. And I say that because it needs to be said like that. Before you talk about this woman, man, clean up your own shit. Your shit's messy as fuck. And you'll notice when you clean up your own shit, you're like, I don't even want to condemn these people no more. I know how hard it is to clean up my own mess. But I want to tell you, condemning and ego are tag team partners. Listen to this part. I alluded to this earlier. Even if you don't want to condemn, you'll still slip hundreds of times due to social programming and the need to fit in. So even if you don't you'll have to get rid of everybody sometimes in order to not condemn. But then there'll come a point where you could still be around people that condemn and you won't condemn. But it's unlikely that you'll want to stay there very long. Okay, but you will slip. You will go back to condemning because it's part of social programming. It's routine, it's habit, and it's the need to fit in. Okay, but with each slip, you'll catch it. So as you begin condemning less, when you do condemn, the stronger the conviction will be. You'll be like, that's not who I am anymore. Why did I talk about that person like that? Why did I gossip like that? Why did I don't know. I'm just fill in the blank. Why did I fill in the blank again? Because I told you, once you know something, you can't pretend to unknow it. You can't unknow it. You can't unsee something once you've seen it. You can't do that. Okay. It's not the lies that haunt you. The truth haunts you. That's one of my quotes, man. And it's very true. When you think about it, lies don't haunt you. The truth haunts you. Lies never haunted you. It was the truth that haunted you. Thank you, Eric Torres. The lies never haunted you. The devil never haunted you. The truth haunted you. And so let me say this to you. If you catch yourself slipping and you have that introspection in that conversation, like, yo, why did I talk like that? Why did I respond like that? That's why? That's good. That's a good thing. I want you to know with each slip, there should be conviction. There should be analyzing. That's good. You're on the right track. If you're just talking shit and you never feel bad, bro, you're gone. You're gone. Until you hit that pillow at night and the truth hits you. You might be gone in front of people. You put on a good show, but everybody feels that shit at night. When you try to go to bed, everybody feels that. Everybody, the truth circles back always. You might cover it up nicely. You might dress it up nicely. You might have a supporting cast that doesn't remind you of the truth. But when you get alone, that truth circling back. Don't believe me? Reflect. Does it circle back? Chat room, 123 people watching. Does it or does it not circle back? This is why people feel bored. This is why they gotta listen to something. They gotta smoke something. They gotta play something. They gotta watch something. You know why? They gotta have somebody. You know why? Because they can't. Because when they're alone, that truth circles back, man. I gotta put on the TV. I gotta go out to eat. I gotta do this. Well, that truth is hitting. That truth is hitting pretty good. Danny is the only one who had the brave enough to say it. Kevin said it too. It always circles back. Doesn't matter what you distract yourself with, the truth circles back. The truth circles back. It doesn't matter what you do to distract. For a moment, it's always there. And it always circles back. It's not the lies that haunt you. It's the truth that haunts you. CJ. Next slide. By the way, this show is a Let Go with EO, and it is a tribute to Bernie EO for his birthday. You respect historical figures, but you don't idolize them. You respect historical figures, but you don't idolize them. Man, I just don't feel like talking anymore. If I would be perfectly honest with you, man, I just don't feel like talking no more. I don't feel like teaching. I don't feel like talking. We'll get through it, but I told you, man, when you are emptied out, bro, you don't feel like doing all this. You don't want to put on a performance. You don't want to lecture. Ego wants to lecture. Godliness knows, okay? Godliness is a state of being. Godliness knows. Ego wants to talk. And this is the truth. Ego wants to talk, wants to be relevant, wants to feel important, wants to be acknowledged, wants his ass kissed, wants to be celebrated, wants a trophy. Godliness is. Okay. But we'll continue. Aaron Walker, new name, $10 or 20, pardon me. No master where you G. There you are. No master where you wait, what? No master where you G. There you are. Oh, I think he meant no matter where you be. There you are. Mm-hmm. So, what do I mean by this? No historical figures. You respect them, but you don't idolize them. Many historical figures were in the ego too. Many what were defined as awakened beings were also in the ego. Because if I say some stuff, man, it's gonna rub you the wrong way, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna be careful with this. I have to be very careful with this because I don't want to disrupt more than I want to build up. I don't want to hurt more than I want to help. So you have to be careful how you present. Okay, I'm learning that. Because you have to ease into things. Ego wants, see, even Hari, say it, E, say it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. Many of the historical figures that you idolize were also in their ego. If not all of them. If not all of them. But I will say this, like some of us, they were trying. They were trying to convey where they've been. Okay? Because godliness is a state of being. It's not a state of doing. Okay? You cannot do anything. You cannot perform enough to be in godliness. Okay? Godliness is a state of being. So many of the historical figures that were godly or civil rights activists, leaders of some sort, they had good intentions. And they were trying to convey this awareness, but were often sucked back into ego too. That's what popularity will do for you. That's what having a lot of subscribers will do for you. That's what having a lot of women will do for you. That's what having a lot of money can do to you. You got to be responsible with everything. Responsible with women, a woman. Responsible with money. Responsible with your health. Responsible with leadership. You have to be very careful with it. It is tread with caution. There were religious men that led people to drinking out of cups. Cults, brainwashing, feel good content. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Listen, placing anyone on a pedestal is another type of ego. Listen to this. I've heard truth conductors say that Solomon was the wisest man ever known. So they say. But be careful with that, because placing someone on a pedestal is another type of ego, because as you lower, they higher. Okay. So as you lower yourself and pedestalize someone else, they higher, you lower. Okay. TC has said some brilliant shit. And I know it didn't come from no Solomon. Shout out to Solomon. It didn't come from him. Okay, so listen to what I'm telling you. If they're higher and you're lower, you make excuses for your ego to remain as it is. You make excuses for your current conditions that are tied to your persona and your ego to be as it is. And by placing another on a pedestal, you continue their self-delusion as well. So when you pedestalize someone, you contribute to their self-delusion. When you lower yourself, you contribute to your self-delusion. For example, and shout out to Jesus, but you don't need Jesus to save you. You can save you today by changing, by admitting, by embracing what you've refused to embrace. You can save yourself. You don't need another man to save you. And that's a tough one, man. I went through that. There was a time I thought I needed saving. I don't need to be saved. The only person I need to be saved, the only thing I need to be saved from is myself, is from my delusions. That's all I need to be saved from. You know, when Jesus tipped over tables, remember that? He was in his ego when he did that. No peaceful man is tipping over tables. He was angry. He was in his ego. He was in the flesh, okay, as they would call it. But I used to say, I probably would have got Jesus out of that. You know, you probably didn't need to be hung. You know, you probably didn't need to be crucified, but you were so locked in that ego. They were like, you know what? This dude talks too much. You know, I told my mother that, and my mother laughed with me, and she said, you know, you're right. There was some ego going on there. You were so locked in this persona that you caused too much of a disruption. Listen, godliness doesn't cause disruptions. Not on purpose. Contrast is scary. Contrast is scary to the ego. Yes. Contrast is scary. It is threatening to the ego when contrast has surfaced. When enough contrast to your ego has presented itself, that is threatening to you, to your ego. Okay. I think Jesus could have done it a little better. But who am I to say? Who am I to say? Maybe he couldn't. Maybe at the time he couldn't. Maybe that's what, that's what it was. But I tell you this, people are being crucified every single day. You don't need to be nailed to a cross to be crucified. You will be crucified in this life. People are being crucified right now. Okay. We don't nail people to crosses anymore, but we sure shoot people. Okay. People get shot. Okay. That's what they did back then. Okay. They used to guillotine, chop your head off. Times have changed. Now they just shoot you. It's one thing you guys don't realize, as some of you, don't realize. Talk crazy enough for a long time around people and they got strong egos and governments and power. Keep talking crazy and you'll be crucified too. But I'm not going to white knight for the truth. Okay? I'm not white knighting for the truth. You either are in the truth and you tread in the direction of truth, or you don't. I'm not going to pull you to the truth. I'm not pulling anyone to the truth. Either you want to go in the direction of the truth or you don't. You don't need a savior to save you from your inability to change. You can save yourself. You could respect Jesus and all, Martin Luther King and Gandhi. You could respect all these people. You could take a little something from everybody, Buddha and all them. You could take a little bit from everybody, but it's a tough thing to say. It really is, but you can change right now without the let me be careful how I say this. You can change right now. You can save yourself right now. Without becoming something, without attaching yourself to a brand new identity. Remember what I told you. Once you shed all of your identities, the truth remains. Okay? But if you got, I'm a Republican, I'm a Christian, I'm a father, there's a lot of shit to you, man. I mean, there's a lot of shit to you. You're a lot of things. We're a lot of things. But if you want to get to the truth, you gotta relinquish all of those things. What am I without the children? What am I without religion? What am I without a political, stance? What am I without my money? What am I without my prestige in this title? What am I without all that? And that truth is there, man. And shout out to the Leading Edge, because religion, by and large, used Jesus's teachings to control. Like the blood of Christ cleanses you. I would interpret that as living in the truth cleanses you. That is the interpretation. Living in the truth cleanses you. But I will never deny the fact that Jesus was delusional at times. And Jesus was in the ego at times, like I've been, like you've been leading edge, like Austin Merkin has, like SNO has, like Fred has, like Bernie has. We have all been in the ego. I've been in the ego so many times that I wish I wasn't that many times, but I have been. As because you're trying so hard. You're trying to become, you're trying to attain, you're trying to make it to tomorrow. So so sometimes personas are just, it's an act of desperation. Sometimes, you have to come up with something to make it to tomorrow. So you can pay the rent, so you could pay the mortgage, so you can keep your wife. I got to run this game, and I got to keep running this game to keep my wife. It's like, come on, man. If you only knew you can't keep nobody. They're just with you for a time. You can't even keep yourself. Listen, if you were the body, if you are this, how come when you die, they put you in the ground? Are you still there? No. Let me ask you this. You ever heard of somebody who was unconscious? They're not there anymore, man. They're not aware of the body. Somebody can ship your body to South Africa right now if you got a concussion, a concussion that they had to put you into an induced coma for some reason. Somebody could ship you to South Africa and back, and you wouldn't even know you left. That's how you know you're not the body. You are not the body. Even when you're blackout drunk, you don't even remember. You ever been blackout drunk? They'll say, hey, Austin, man, you took your pants off and pissed all over the bar. I did? What the fuck? I did. Why didn't you stop me? We tried to, man. But they put on G Unit, bro, and you fucking went crazy. Oh shit. Yo, when they put on G Unit, bro, a switch went on. You pissed all over the bar. You don't even remember it. You know why? You weren't there, bro. I'm trying to get you guys to really, really understand. The afterlife, we're going to talk about that another show. We're not talking about that today. No. If you want to sponsor it, but we are not talking about that today. I'm sure you would like to know my opinion on that. But we're not talking about that today. With all due respect, we're not talking about that today. Yeah, Austin, the lights were on, but nobody was home. That's right. So you are not your body. I mean, if you think you're your body, you're not your body. There's people that care about where their body go when they're dead. You ain't there, bro. What's it matter if you're throw me in a river? I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't need any kind of like dignified burial. Like, what's it matter? That's for the living. The living care about where you are so they can come and visit you. But do you care? No. People I want to get my burial plot in line. Like another ego. Another ego. Why care about where I'm buried? Like, you even care about where you're buried, man. Think about how foolish y'all are when you do that shit. Well, I want to be buried next to my wife, and I want to be buried next to my brother. Your brother doesn't know where the fuck you're at no more. And soon neither will you. So chill out on that crazy shit. If somebody wants to bury you somewhere, cool. I'm not saying not to like plan for that, okay? But don't relax. But that's all a cope and that's all an ego. It is. I'm sorry. It's all an ego. Where you care where you're buried, where you care where you go. Somebody's going to find your ass decomposing one day, most likely. Somebody. And that's, you're gone. So it's like something that it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just what's going to happen. And someone will find me too. This is tough. This could be a little tough for some of you. But so we talked about pedestalizing another. All you're doing is contributing to their self-delusions, and you're just contributing to your self-delusion, which is the lower you. I am not on that level. Well, you may not be as competent as them because due to lack of repetition, lack of effort. But I told you right now, give me some time to be adequate and competent at anything, and I'm going to be good as hell at that. Now, obviously, you have your limitations. You know, I'm not a large man, so I'm not going to go be a center somewhere, okay? But I could be a point guard like a motherfucker. Maybe, you know? And so, you have your limitations, and respect your limitations, and respect your strengths. Respect your strengths and respect your limitations. And the next one is you see from other people's lens. You'll know that you're waking up because you now listen more than you talk. And you see from other people's vantage point. I made a video weeks ago where I talked about, you got to understand your woman. It doesn't mean you be your woman, although you can, we're very similar. Men and women are very similar. See, ego separates men and women. Okay. That's all ego. Oh, I'm a man and you're a woman. Okay. We're very similar. Okay. Ego only says that shit. Okay. But step aside from your gender. We're very alike in a lot of ways. Outside of hormones, we do the same shit. Okay? Wait, what did Damien say? Coach, what happens? What, you happen to be Polish at all? I got a friend from childhood who was Polish. And he looked like, I am not Polish, sir. I am not. But I could be. I could be a little Polish. I could be a little black. I mean, no one knows what they really are. I mean, a lot of things. But so for the sake of, seeing from other people's lens, which is a skill and it's a state of being. So it starts out a skill because nobody wants to do it. See, ego doesn't want to really listen to anybody. Okay. And you know this to be true. Ego wants to be heard. Ego wants to be right. Okay. But at some point you'll ruin all your relationships being that way. And it'll cause you to self-evaluate, and you'll say, okay, something's gotta change here because I'm losing girlfriends. People used to like me. Now they don't like me. I'm a little too selfish. You're destroying. Okay. Your ego is destroying things. All right. So you'll want to change because of loss. That doesn't mean you're there yet, but you're on your way. See, you start to evaluate who and what you are and what changes are needed when you keep losing. Okay, when you keep losing. So it starts out as a skill. You're trying to, introduce a new skill, okay, which is still ego, okay? Still ego. I don't care what nobody says. Still ego. But there will come a point in time, maybe, where you genuinely want to listen to somebody's story, where you want to understand where they're coming from. Yeah, they're a mess. You were once a mess too. We're all looking for like perfect people. There are no perfect people. I'm away from my ego. I'm not a perfect dude, man. I know. I'm not a perfect person, man. I can't define what I am. Only you can define what I am. Only someone outside of me can really define what I am. I can't define what I am. I can't define it. Nobody can. Nobody can truly define what they are because you're nothing. If we're going to get down to the core of what you are, you're nothing. You're none of those things that you've assigned yourself. You're none of those things. So It's hard to say. It's hard to tell you what I am. I can tell you what I'm playing. I could tell you what I'm playing for you. But it's a play, okay? But I'm none of those things, man. I became those things. Some of it's genetics, some of it's, genetic potential that I'm tapping into. Sure. But I'm none of those. I mean, I'm not that. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy. Yeah. Great example. Think about everybody that loved Denzel in that movie, bro. All ego, all selfishness, all about that money. Well, why? Because he was going to pay the Russians off, because the Russians were going to kill his ass. So, he was in survival mode. His ego was looking to survive. In the end, he lost everything. It's a movie. It's real life. How you think they make movies? From real life situations. But you see from other people's lenses. Pardon me. Now, it doesn't excuse the behaviors of others. Okay. Just because you can sit with another person and see what they're going through. You know how you can see what another person's going through? Because you went through that too. Have you ever talked to somebody? Listen, we got 127 people watching. Have you ever heard somebody talk about their problems, but because you never went through that, you really can't understand or empathize with it, even if you try? Like when a woman tells you she's on her period, and how, as a man, when a woman tells you she's on her period and she's having cramps and she's in discomfort and she's in a lot of pain, as much as you want to empathize with that, you really can't, can you? Men, can you? You can imagine, you can start to use your imagination. Well, I wonder what that feels like. But you can never know what it's like for a woman to deliver a baby. You can never know that. And you will never know that. Because you are not a woman. Likewise, a woman will never understand what it truly means to be a man. But if you want to know the truth, both men and women, the moment you attach yourself to your gender, you're in your ego. So this is a tough pill to swallow. Okay, this is a tough pill to swallow when I'm telling you. The moment that you attach yourself to your gender, you now begin performing. Aside from the normal faculties, the inner engineering of the body, aside from that, the moment you are told, well, you're a female, act like a lady. You're a man, be masculine, be a man now. Even I've said that shit. You're in your ego. And I'm not telling you that that's wrong, because there's going to be practical reasons why you must be a man. I mean, you do have the genitalia of a man, but there is ego attached to that as well. And if you can understand that, you're going to be in good shape. I can't tell a man how to be a man. Every man has to decide how to live out his life. I can't tell you how to be a man. I could tell you how I can't even tell you how I'm being a man. No man is a man all day. No man is a man all day. You know how when you get sick, you go crying to your mama? You ain't no man, bro. So no man is a man all day long. You're a man when it's appropriate. You're a man when it's time to be a man. And then other than that, you're just a human being. It is healthier to identify as a human being than a female or a male, to be honest with you. Because the more you keep saying, I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man, you're then going to be putting on performance after performance after performance after performance after performance. Performances that you cannot continually uphold. For a time, sure. Forever, no. Not forever. You know what I mean. And a woman either. A woman cannot be a woman all day. She could be a human being all day, but she cannot be a woman all day. And a man cannot be a man all day. He can be a human being all day, but he cannot be a man all day. And that is contributing to many of the problems in our society and in our world, is this gender, this separation of the genders. and I've done it and I've taught that. And it's time for me to go away from that because I believe that I need to share this. For a time. That doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about, the practical stuff. I still need to talk about that because there's levels to where you are in life. And so it is responsible to my business to talk about those things. But it's also irresponsible of my coaching to not hit this. It is irresponsible to not hit this as a coach. It is irresponsible. I must prepare you for what you will encounter because we all encounter the same things to varying degrees. We all experience the same thing. Love, death, taxes. We all experience the same. We all eat, we all drink, we all fuck at some point. Some fuck more than others. Other people don't fuck at all. We all want the same things and we're experiencing a lot of the same things. So we're not that different. So my teaching is to help prepare you for what is likely for you to encounter. This is one thing that you must know about the things I'm teaching you, or I'm sharing rather, not teaching, but sharing with you today. Even teachers are in their ego. I'm a teacher. Like, look, I say things. Some of it will help. Let me take a quick intermission. I'll be back in just a moment. We'll finish out, okay? Let Go with EO, brought to you by Everett Overton. Tribute to Bernie EL on his birthday. We'll be right back. I was going to grab a coffee, but you know what? I've had enough. I want to be able to sleep good tonight. Got the Bears on tonight. We'll see what Tyson does tonight. I think he's going to be playing today. Bajent. Avery Jones in the house. Shout out to my brother Avery Jones. I'll be stroking. All right, man. I'll get that shirt. I'll get that shirt designed. Yes, sir. Watching some old dope shit. I'll catch the replay. Salute, man. Yep. So I was talking about this. when you understand someone and you see through another person's lens, in no way, shape, or form is this a matter of excusing behaviors, but rather understanding the behaviors. As I talked about before, you don't know what it's like to have a menstrual cycle. You can't understand that. And a woman can't understand what a man has to go through. You can't. Okay. And that's okay. But what about when you do share similarities? You tend to listen more, don't you? You're having trouble with your finances. You're having trouble with women. You're having your credit is shot. OK, so someone's talking about it. So you're more like I need to listen to this because you connect with it. But if somebody's sitting there with an 820 credit score and somebody says, hey, man, you want to build your credit? You have no need for that. OK, so but you'll notice something as you begin to wake up. You listen more. Remember, true understanding doesn't need to condemn. When you understand something, you don't need to condemn it. You don't need to advise it. Because remember, you can even have an advisor ego, which stems to like some low place within you. You ever had somebody give you unsolicited advice before? You didn't ask for it. They just gave it to you. That's coming from a low place. That's coming from an ego of some sort. So remember, true understanding doesn't need to advise. It needs to sit with. True understanding. Listen, true understanding will sit with. I stopped telling people I'm sorry for your loss when somebody dies. I put this in my new book. I'll share it with you. Why not? The only time you care about an obituary is when someone you love is in it. If you go pick up a newspaper right now and you skim through the obituary, unless you recognize a name, someone you went to high school with, you don't really care who's in that obituary. It's only when someone you love is in that obituary do you cut it out and put it on the dresser mirror. Or in the Bible somewhere. Think about it. Are you cutting out strangers' obituaries? Huh? The only time you actually care about the news is when, okay, there was a murder. Where was the murder? Oh, it was in Omaha somewhere? Whew. Good. You only care because your survival depends on knowing where there's danger. Your egoic survival depends on it, okay? But you don't give a shit. Come on. The only time you care about somebody having cancer is when you find out their age. So like, oh, my grandmother died of cancer. How old was your grandmother? She was 88. Did she smoke? Yeah, she did smoke. Whew. Oh, okay, I'm in the clear. I don't smoke. I live healthy. Ego. It's all ego, man. This shit's gonna blow your mind once you start seeing it now. Everything you do is ego. Everything. Even the good shit. I'm telling you. I know people like that. They'll investigate a death. They're like, how'd he die? Diabetes. Oh, cool. You don't give a fuck about how that man or woman died. It's as long as you don't die like that. So you can prevent yourself from dying like that. That's the only reason why you were inquisitive about the death. It's because you want to know if you can go out the same way or how to prevent yourself from going out that way. That's the truth. And you know it. And it's not wrong. It's what you do. It's what we do. That is ego. You even care about where a person goes after they die. Oh, they lived terribly. They're being judged right now. It's like, dude, like you even care about that. Oh, he lived like a heathen. Oh, he lived horribly. She lived horribly. She's definitely not with the Lord. She's definitely not with the Lord right now. Like ego, boy. Your self-righteous, sanitized wannabe self is now condemning even the dead. It's none of my business where you go after this. It's none of my business where you go after this. Somebody asked about the dead. It is none of my business where you go after this. It is none of my business whether you go somewhere or you don't go somewhere. That is none of my business. You'll never hear me say, well, they're being judged by the Lord right now. That is ego. 100%. That you want even a dead person to be judged for their actions. I don't tell people I'm sorry when they lose somebody, because you're going to lose somebody. And I don't really know unless, okay, I've lost people. I've loved and I've lost. Okay. I've loved, I've gotten attached, and I had to detach, whether it was by my own doing or life forced it. Life will force you to detach. If you don't want to, you will have to. And so, so I can understand and empathize with someone that loses someone because I've lost someone or something. George Michael one time said this in an interview, and I completely agreed with it. He said there's two types of people in the world. There's one that has lost and one that hasn't lost yet. So on that note, when you've lost enough, you can sit with someone and listen to them and understand them, because you too have lost. If you've yet to lose, you can't understand someone who's losing. Just like if you haven't won, or what looks like a win, you can't understand a winner. But wins and losses are ego too. All of it is. A win is ego. I won. You didn't win shit. You won a made up, man-made prize. Congratulations. There might be some perks to that. Sure. Don't believe that for too long. You'll drive yourself into the mental asylum, okay? Just like if you lost, you took second place, there is no second place. There's no first place, there's no second place, okay? You just bought into that. You bought into that game. And so if you buy into a game, now you are subjected to the rules of the game. Carlos, what's good? So think about it. Have you ever heard another person's story and reflected on your own story? Just remember something, and I'll exit this point. Just because you haven't experienced that doesn't mean you're not going to. Sometimes slow down a little bit, even if you can't understand a woman's problems. Listen to her. Truly listen to her. Understand where she's coming from. Ladies, you can't understand a man. Try. The next slide is you're a loner now. You're just a loner. You don't want to be a loner. You are a loner. You didn't plan on being a loner. You just are. Okay? There's a reason. There is a responsible reason why I'm a loner now. Okay? I want to tell you why I am a loner. I used to be very extroverted, but I was really introverted, just had to play the role of an extrovert. I'm really an introverted person that plays the role of an extrovert. So I want to tell you that. I really, silence is wonderful. At one point in my life, silence was avoided. But silence is embraced now. That comes with maturity and awakening. But let me tell you this. There's a very responsible reason why I choose to remain alone most of the time. It's responsible. It's mature. And I'm going to tell you what it is right now. It's not because I'm better than another, but more so that I don't ruin a good time for other people. Listen, if you're locked in the party person ego, the drinker ego, the social butterfly ego, the social networking ego, if you're in that ego right now, in that persona, I would probably be the worst company for you. Ask Bernie EL, ask his brother, ask Andrew, who went to the CME. Did I look like I was having a good time at that cigar bar? Nothing against Donovan and them. They put on a nice outing, but I am far removed from that atmosphere. Ask them. I was there out of obligation, but I was there out of commitment, but I wasn't there out of desire. Health and Wealth Podcast, $50. Thank you, Carlos. If people understood the game is what they make it, it would give them complete control over their life. I think it's an amazing thing not to gaff about anything, but my goals and experience life got, I think it's an amazing thing not to gaff about anything, but my goals and experience life got better to gain more from others. Listen to them. Yes. But again, forget about the gain. See, this is the really tough part, man. And I'm not saying it's tough for Carlos. It was tough for me. Don't seek to gain or attain anything. What you need, you already have actually. It's just a matter of activation. Okay, let me say this again. Damn, boy, this is what you have, you already have. It's a matter of due diligence and activation and movement and movement. And declutter. Do you know when you can't understand something? A lot of the time it's because you're too cluttered. Declutter, you'll start to understand things you'll start to see things you didn't see before. It's a matter of declutter. Thank you, Carlos. Rico Torres, 5, watcher from Dallas. Salute, Rico. The moment you want something, you're in ego, okay? But it's not wrong. Let me just say this. We need each other. We do need each other, okay? I'm going to make a leading the relationship, because I'm not the only coach that just tells you about attraction. I actually help you maintain your relationships. I've been teaching on that for a long time, whether I get the credit for it or not. I've been teaching on leading the relationship for a long time. Okay, so this is a good question by the Leading Edge, and I'm going to answer it simply. If you need to forgive, you're in an ego. Because godliness doesn't have to think about forgiving. Godliness doesn't think, okay? However, for the sake of this broadcast, if you need to forgive, you're in an ego. Like, I have to forgive. Interpretation. My ego is tired as fuck. Oh, man. Godliness is a state of being and has no need to forgive. If you ever are like in a struggle, like, should I forgive her? Should I forgive? You're in your ego. And that's all you need to know. And I'm not telling you not to be in the ego. Stay in the ego if you need to. Sometimes you need to stay in the ego to get through the day. Sometimes you got to stay in the ego to get through a month. Sometimes you got to stay in the ego to maintain your fucking job so you can make enough money. Sometimes you got to stay in the ego. But just know that if you are pondering and having a discourse with yourself about forgiveness, you are in an ego. That's it. Because godliness doesn't even have to, that's not a question. I'll leave it there. Health and Wealth Podcast, $10. Carlos, has nothing to do with any physical things and everything to do with letting go. Keep bringing the facts. Now I do it for fun and to keep myself busy. LOL. Gotta buy the street. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. Otero, baby. I'll drive on it. That's right. He and I have good conversations. He's an annual client, and our conversations just get better and better and better. And just in a short amount of time from when he recruited me, I see tremendous change. You know why? He was ready. He was ready. I just needed to present things in a way that he was like, yo, get the fuck out of here, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes. But he was ready. You can't make someone ready, and you can't stop somebody from being ready. Meaning if somebody wants something, you can't stop them, and you can't force someone to be ready. Readiness is you either are or you aren't. Can't force it. And it's been a joy to watch the change before me when I'm coaching him. I see it. I see it. It's cool. It's a dope thing. So understand this. When as you begin to awaken, you choose to be alone, because I said this before. It's not that you're better. It's that you don't want to ruin a good time. Look, I don't drink. I'm fucking boring. Look, I don't drink. I don't smoke. You know, I don't fuck women. Like, I'm boring as shit. I went through that already. Drunkard, smoker, promiscuous, hotshot salesman. I mean, I'm fucking done, man. I could teach you about what I did, what I learned, what I've seen, what I've experienced. But you remember Carlito and Carlito's Way? I'm retired. You're retired. Yeah, man, I'm retired. I'm retired, bro. I'm boring as shit. You'll never want to party with me. Now, if you want to sit with me and have a cup of coffee, you might enjoy that. But party with me? Pfft, it's over, bro. You can't party with me. I'll be back in my hotel room at 9:30. The party's over for Coach EO. The party's over. Lights out, Chicago. That's the truth. But I could share it with you for a minute. I could help you get through your stage, but the party's over for me. And I'll never be ashamed to admit that. Party's over. I got a different party. Water my grass. Save animals. Coach men around the world, you know. Hang up the phone and like, he got it. He got that. When I said that, it took 59 minutes, but on that last minute, it was the build up to the awareness. And he got it. He got it right there at the 59-minute mark. He got that. Now, whether or not he stays with that, that's up to him. I can't force a client, a man or a woman, to stay anywhere. You're going to stay there if you want to stay there. If you have the courage to stay there, you'll stay there. You'll investigate more. But if you don't, you don't. This is big, man. This is big right here. We're going in almost 3 hours. We'll be here 3 hours today. Happy birthday to Bernie EL. You no longer see evil. You see conformists that haven't awakened yet. And I just want to repeat that. If you are waking up, you've awakened to the lies that you believe first, that you sponged onto first. And so as you begin to do that and you tread through life on this planet, you no longer see evil. You see conformists that haven't awakened yet. If you see evil, you're evil. Okay, I'm sorry. If you see or call something evil, you too are evil, but in your own way. You contribute to the actions, the contrasting actions of other people by calling it evil. Listen to me. Contrast to your and our preferences and comforts are generally defined as wrong and immoral. Is that not true? Where are the truth tellers at? Carlos, Bernie. When contrast surfaces to your preferences and to your comforts and to your beliefs, don't you generally, or did you generally define that as wrong and immoral? You live in Florida. I live in Chicago. We meet at an airport. I say, I'm from Chicago. Oh, I had to leave Chicago. Oh. Now I'm wrong because I live in Chicago. And that's just minor. That's minor shit. But it's happening all day, every day. You a Bears fan? Yeah, I'm a Bears fan. Oh, I'm a Packers fan. Now they don't even like you because you're a Bears fan. They don't even like you now that much. I mean, this is like minor. Imagine it on a grand scale. That's when wars occur. That's when all this fighting, all the war, that's when it happens. And so the moment contrast surfaces or presents itself to your preferences and your beliefs and your comforts, you now, whether inwardly or outwardly, define that as wrong or immoral. But just know that you too are being evil yourself. Egoic, evil. I tied those two things together, but in your own way. When you condemn oppositional behaviors, you are being evil. When you condemn oppositional behaviors and belief systems, you are being evil. Why not just understand that that person was brought up to be Muslim, or that person was brought up to be this or that, and now they've become that, and they believe that, and now they've cultivated their life around that. That is a conditioned human being. That doesn't make them evil. That makes them a highly conditioned human being. That doesn't make them evil. If they act out of the conditioning, they're acting out of ego. They don't know. Jesus did say something. He said a lot of things that were very, very or for the sake, out of respect for Jesus, a lot of the things I'm saying, although I'm not parroting Jesus, we are on the same road. When he said, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing, he was telling you what I'm telling you, that they're not evil. They're locked in identity. They're locked in ego. So forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. They truly believe this. This is why they're living this way. They believe this. Although at the core, no one truly believes it. Everybody knows. Everyone knows. If you have to forgive yourself, you're in your ego. This is point. If you have to forgive yourself or other people, you're in your ego. But it is a process toward true awakening. You sometimes have to go through that. So you can't just jump the line sometimes, unless you're fortunate to hear a message that helps you fast track to a certain type of awareness. But if you have to forgive yourself, you're in your ego. But I will tell you this, if you've hurt anybody, if you've hurt their ego, it could be very healing for another person to hear an apology. So maybe you don't do it for yourself, but at least you do it for them, so you can free them from a certain bondage that they may still carry. Although that's still ego. Bondage is ego, 100%. But it's possible that owning your behavior and apologizing can help free them so they can further their own journey to perhaps liberation. So if you see evil in the world, I promise you, you're evil and you're in an ego. You're in an ego. So it's not that you're evil, but you're in an ego, which is certainly not God. But that's another topic. That's another topic. It's not that it's not God, but that's another topic. That's deeper. We ain't going there today. But let me just say this to you. This is a hard one to accept. Train yourself to look at people and not with judgment, not that you're better than, but that, you know what, I was once too that person. I was a cultural zombie. I was a political zombie. I was a religious zombie. But I've awakened from that, and now I see other people are going through that. I may not be able to impact them. I don't need to change them. If life brings them to me, I'll trust the process that whatever impact I have, it is perhaps influential. Read this chapter in my book, Cut the Bullshit, chapter 11. Love is not always loving. That is one of my favorite chapters in that book, because love is not always loving. And last but certainly not least, one sign you're waking up from the lies is this list feels familiar. This list just seems familiar. You resonated with this list. If you didn't resonate with this list, that's okay too. But if another indication that you're truly waking up is this list. There was a deep familiarity as you heard me list these off. You've already realized and felt these things, but due to unfamiliarity and fear of scrutiny, you slipped back into falsehood. I want you to know that this is completely understandable. This is what everybody's doing when they slip back. But like I told you, you can be in the world and not of the world. So there's been times where I knew all this stuff I'm talking about, but because I needed to get more money, or I needed to pay a bill, or, just I needed to survive, I had to pretend to be of this world. Like there were times if you take someone to a Cubs game, let's just say you are in the business and your company is like, okay, take this client to the Bears game, take this client to the Cubs game. I mean, you have to pretend to enjoy the game, but the whole time your agenda is building connection, building rapport, building trust, so then you can introduce business talk later. schmoozing. Okay. Sometimes you got to do it. So, but I'm just saying, if this list resonated with you, you've probably felt these things. You probably thought these things. You probably, but dude, it's the road less traveled. It's, fear of scrutiny. Like I said, you can't just go talk to people about this. They'll think you're crazy. They'll put you in the psychiatric ward. They'll disown you. You got to be careful who you talk to about this. You have to be careful about how you share this. Be responsible with the truth. All right. I want to say one last thing to you that I told a client on the phone the other day, and it was one of the most brilliant things that I've ever uttered, and it just came out because I've realized this myself, and I want to share it with you. Whatever you can control in this life, do so like a champion. Do it to the best of your ability for all the right reasons. Okay? Whatever you can put your hands on, whatever you can impact it like a champion. But whatever you cannot impact, whatever is out of your ability to impact, surrender like a champion. Don't cope, though. Don't say you can't change. Have you done all the necessary work with your pride, with your ego, with your beliefs, with your habits, with your laziness, with your with everything? Have you done your best? Have you championed everything that you can control? The answer is probably going to be no. It's probably going to be no, guys. I'm just going to be honest. It's probably going to be no. But if you find yourself where you've championed everything that is within your reach, within your ability to manage, whatever is out of your ability to manage, surrender to it like a champion. Tell yourself, I trust life for the rest. I trust myself for my part. I trust myself. I've championed this. I've become competent at this. I trust myself to do my part. But whatever is out of reach, whatever is up to life, surrender to that. Let it go. And fully let it go. And trust. Guys, that's my time. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast, man. If someone kills 10 innocent people if someone kills 10 innocent people, is evil or not? No one is innocent. No one is innocent. I would say babies are the closest thing to being innocent because they just haven't aged enough to become conformed to an ego. But no one is like innocent, good, bad. I mean, you got to be careful with that. So let's just put if someone kills 10 people, is evil or not? Yes, they are. That was a crime of passion tied to the ego. Yes. 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 That's the answer. Because if they weren't tied to that ego so heavily, they would not have even thought to kill people. You would not think to hate on someone or be jealous of someone if you weren't tied to ego. So you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't want to do it. The desire wouldn't be present. Do you understand? And so run this video back. Leave a comment if you wish. Share it with someone you think could use it and may resonate with it. I want to thank Bernie EL for everything he does and everything all of my sponsors do. The investors on this channel. You make it possible. I'd have to go do something else. If I didn't have clients, if I didn't have people to invest, I'd have to go do something else. So, and that'd be fine if I had to go do something else. If I had to go do, I've done lots of things in my life. It wouldn't be that different. However, you make these shows possible by your support, by buying products, by investing into coaching. You invest in yourself, thus you invest into me. It keeps this thing going. If I wasn't benefiting, I couldn't be here. I'd be doing something else. Who knows? Maybe digging a ditch. I don't know. I've talked to enough people. I think I'm tired of talking. I think I'm ready to dig a ditch. But as long as I'm compensated and I can live, I'll continue to do it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Much love, much respect. Consider what we talked about. Consider what was said. Happy birthday, Bernie L. We'll see y'all in the next one.